A short while ago, I made a video saying I felt it was a dead cert that Jeremy Strong would win the Oscar, the Best Supporting Actor Oscar, for his role in The Apprentice. However, I'm now starting to think it's going to be this guy. Kieran Culkin, Jeremy Strong's co-star in Succession, kind of feel like he's got it in the bag for a real pain. Culkin is brilliant in this film. It's this raw, unflinching performance in the character of Benji that's just totally believable. There's a tragedy and a comedy to the way that he plays it, and that balance is incredibly hard to get, but I feel like he nails it. However, I'm kind of hoping that a little bit more praise will be given to Jesse Eisenberg, who wrote, directed, and starred in the whole thing. That's an incredibly hard set of jobs to be able to balance. They do kind of complement each other, but a lot of directors have tried to do all three things at the same time and fallen short. How can you direct other actors whilst interacting with them in character? It's a very difficult thing to be able to achieve. So the directing is good on his part, and the acting is good even though he's not really playing against type. But there's something about this screenplay that just works. The characters are incredibly well observed, and I think because of the premise of the film where they're on a tour of Poland, it allows them to have a group dynamic with the sort of wider group scenes and then the short, more intimate scenes with just the two of them as a real tour of this kind would operate. So I feel like he's nailed that balance. I read in an original draft they were originally siblings, these characters, but making them cousins was a really smart move by Eisenberg. There's a very different dynamic between the way that cousins interact and the way that siblings interact. With siblings, you have that underlying parental unit that you always have in common, and there's less of an excuse for you to drift, whereas with cousins it's kind of anything goes. You can end up moving further and further apart from each other, which these characters seem to have slightly. It's referenced many times that they don't see each other as often, so making them cousins, very, very sharp move. It's also a movie whose central element is the Holocaust, because these two characters are honouring their grandmother, who was a survivor of Auschwitz, by doing a tour of Poland and visiting places linked to her life. It's a period of history that's very complicated and hard to bring to the screen, and many directors have tried and done very good jobs, namely The Zone of Interest last year, or Schindler's List, or Shoah. So to be able to deal with the subjects that this film is dealing with in such a sharply observed way, I feel like, yeah, Culkin's going to get the Best Supporting Actor, but Eisenberg kind of deserves that Best Screenplay too.